The Summer Camp Nightmare. David had always been the adventurous type, so when he received an urgent text message from his friends about a mysterious deserted summer camp, he couldn't resist the urge to investigate. They had gone there to explore the abandoned campgrounds, but their message hinted at something gone terribly wrong. As David approached the eerie, overgrown camp, he felt a growing sense of unease. The once vibrant playgrounds and cabins were now consumed by nature, their decaying structures casting long shadows in the fading light. The only sound was the rustling of leaves and the occasional snapping of twigs underfoot. His heart pounding, David began to search the camp for any signs of his friends. As he delved deeper into the desolate area, he discovered something far more terrifying than he could have ever imagined. Velociraptors, long thought to be extinct, roamed the campgrounds hunting for prey. Realizing the immense danger, David desperately searched for his friends, avoiding the raptors as best as he could. The campgrounds, once familiar and comforting, had transformed into a treacherous maze teeming with lethal predators. As he made his way through the winding paths and abandoned cabins, David stumbled upon a raptor feasting on an unfortunate victim. From what was left of her, it was Michelle, a friend of many years. He covered his mouth quickly to try to contain his sadness, but the creature heard him already. It lifted its blood-stained snout and locked eyes with David, letting out a chilling screech before lunging towards him. Thinking quickly, David ran towards an open cabin, and just as the raptor leaped to attack, he dove to his left, causing the beast to fly right into the cabin. David quickly stood and shut the cabin door, narrowly avoiding the raptor's snapping jaws and locking it inside. Moving towards the main building, David found himself cornered in the camp's dining hall. As a raptor stalked closer, its talons clicking ominously against the floor. He spotted a fire extinguisher on the wall. With no other option, he grabbed the canister and sprayed its contents directly at the raptor's face, buying himself precious seconds to escape through a nearby window. Continuing his frantic search, David heard distant cries for help. Following the sound, he came across his other two friends, Sarah and Kevin, trapped on the roof of a cabin as raptors circled below. Using a nearby rope, David climbed the closest tree and threw the rope onto the roof. They tied it to the chimney top and, as quietly as they could, grappled across the makeshift zip line to the tree. They hugged each other with tears of joy as David whispered to them that he saw a boathouse and maybe they could use that to get away. They nodded and each one of them carefully climbed down the tree, all while the pack of raptors still circled the cabin hoping for another meal. The smell of gasoline and damp wood filled the air as they cautiously made their way through the dimly lit boathouse, stepping over discarded oars and fishing equipment. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by a raptor's guttural growl echoing through the boathouse. Sarah yelped out of shock as Kevin covered her mouth, the creature's shadow slowly creeping along the wall. They knew they had to think fast to escape the impending danger. Spotting a small rowboat hanging from the ceiling, David quickly climbed onto it, hoping the raptor wouldn't notice him in the darkness. The raptor entered the boathouse, sniffing the air and scanning the room with its predatory gaze. As the raptor neared the rowboat, David's heart raced. He knew he needed a distraction to divert the creature's attention. Glancing around, he noticed a tin of paint thinner on a nearby shelf. Desperate, he grabbed the can and threw it towards the far end of the boathouse. The tin clattered against the floor, its contents spilling and filling the air with a strong, pungent odor. The raptor's attention immediately shifted to the source of the noise, giving David and his friends the opportunity he needed. He carefully lowered himself from the rowboat, and together they slipped out of the boathouse, trying their best not to make a sound. The raptor, now thoroughly disoriented by the paint thinner fumes, struggled to regain its bearings, allowing them to make an escape. Making a run for it, the group sprinted towards the camp's entrance, the sound of the raptor's footsteps growing louder with each passing moment. As they raced through the decaying camp, a deafening roar echoed through the air, stopping them in their tracks. A massive Tyrannosaurus Rex emerged from the woods, its menacing eyes fixed on the group. David and his friends knew they stood no chance against the colossal predator, but they had no choice but to keep running. The chase led to the edge of a steep cliff, with the T-Rex gaining ground every second. Cornered and out of options, David and his friends braced themselves for the inevitable. And just as the dinosaur lunged towards them, a hail of arrows soared through the air, striking the Tyrannosaurus Rex and causing it to stagger back. To their astonishment, a local tribe of Native Americans emerged from the surrounding forest, their bows and arrows aimed at the fearsome creature. Working together, they managed to distract the T-Rex, providing David and his friends with a narrow window to escape. With the help of the Native American tribe, the group managed to scale down the cliffside, putting a safe distance between themselves and the deadly predators above. As they made their way to safety, the tribe explained that they had been protecting the area for generations, keeping the prehistoric creatures contained and out of sight from the rest of the world. Relieved and grateful, David thanked the tribe for their bravery and selflessness. He and his friends knew they owed their lives to these courageous individuals who had risked everything to save them from the terrifying beasts that had once ruled the earth. While the world remained largely unaware of the hidden dangers that lurked within the deserted summer camp, David and his friends would never forget the heroes who had saved them from the nightmare that had unfolded in the shadows of the ancient forest.